everyone. I'm Caitlin McCaffrey from the New Bedford Whaling Museum.
Hello, and I'm Ian Abreu from the New Bedford Area Chamber of Commerce.
We're here at the beautiful Crush, New Bedford. We're actually partnering with Sawgrass Vacations this year to offer a fantastic trip to Porto, Portugal in September, where we'll be going on vineyard tours, wine tastings, farmhouse dinners. So we're here to learn a little bit more about Portuguese wine.
Salud.
Salud.
We're very happy and honored to have a good friend of mine, Jack Hudo, here. And Jack is currently the multicultural brand manager of MS Walker. And Jack, you've been branded as the local expert on all things Portuguese wine. And can you tell some of our viewers and listeners out there some of the wines that us and our viewers and some of our travelers can hope to expect when we go to Porto come this September?
Well, thanks for having me. And welcome to the Wines of Portugal, Unexpected Flavors. I have to say that there's been a big change in the country since we joined the European Common Market in 1986, same time as Spain. So we have a tremendous amount of investment in the country, in the vineyards, new generation of winemakers. I also have to say that 60% of the winemakers now are females. So they are in the passion of making wine. Portugal has approximately 13 wine regions, 28 sub-regions, DOCs. For such a small country, we are the 7th largest wine producing country in the world. The diversity of soils, climates, the wines makes the country very unique. What your team is going to experience is unfamiliar grapes. That's what it makes Portugal very unique. Touriga Nacional, Tinta Roriz, so we're not talking about Cabernet Sauvignons, we're not talking about Chardonnays. So these are the unexpected flavors that you will be expecting from Portugal. And since you guys are going to the Douro Valley and Porto is of course the second largest city of Portugal. This is where you see all the lodges or the port wines. And the Douro Valley, to me, and based on the critics, is one of the most beautiful wine regions in the world. First, it was the first demarcated region in 1756, when we had the British wine merchants putting pressure on the prices. So we had this dynamic prime minister called Marquis de Pombal. They made the first demarcated region in the world in order to protect the region. Secondly, is the Douro River, which runs in Spain, is the 3rd largest river in the Iberian Peninsula. So what you will be expecting is 3 parts of the Douro, which is the Low Corvo, Upper Corvo, and the Douro Superior. So the Low Corvo has a lot of the maritime influence. Then you have the Upper Corvo, which is protected by the mountains. And then you have the Douro Superior, which is near the border of Spain, which the climate, it's very cold in the winter, and in the summer it goes to 130 degrees. Wow. It's torrid, it's amazing. So the wines are full body wines, lots of complexity, unique grape varieties, so you will be finding probably over 100 different grape varieties. Very poor soil, but the most gorgeous view you will be experienced as you cross the Douro River. Very difficult to work in those soils. We have to use dynamite in order to plant the vineyard. Irrigation is prohibited. So it's a very unique experience, very romantic. And every time I go there, actually, I had a pleasure to be there with Christian. And of course, it's a lot of stories that we will leave on the side.
Now, is it true that September is grape harvesting season?
Correct. And then it goes to the end of September. Depends sometimes a little bit on the weather. If we know that it's going to rain, sometimes we need to accelerate the harvest season. But sometimes, you're looking at the region, it's so unique that it's a feeling, it's very hard to explain. The Douro wines have been rated one of the top wines now in the world. The Wine Spectator this year, the 3 top wines out of 100 best in the world, it was wines of Portugal. Wow. And 2 of them, it was wines from the Douro.
Now, Jack, I see you've got some wonderful wines here from the Porto and other regions of Portugal, and I know you have a special guest that you wanted to come in to talk about. Absolutely. Some of these wines that we may be sampling on our trip in September.
Correct. These wines, the table wines, Castelo d'Alba Old Vines, it's in Quinta do Coa. Coa, it's a small river that crosses the Douro River. By the Douro River has approximately 557 miles of distance of land. And it runs in Spain and then meets the ocean in Porto. It's a very unique river. Rui Madeira makes very unique wines, special whites. But what we experience today is old vines, and you're looking at 30-year-old vineyards. The wine was aged 18 months in French and American oak. So I was just stationed with Christian, and it shows a lot of complexity, a lot of black currants, a little bit of rock rose. Rock rose is a flower that grows in the Douro Valley, and as you travel, you will be smelling that aroma.
Very nice.
And of course, the Coa, it's a single state. It's organic farming, and also a very interesting wine. And of course, the flagship, which is Ports, which that's out of the region.
Delicious. And I'll let the two experts talk about the wine. I'll get out of the way here.
Welcome to Crash, and glad to see you in our place. This is actually one of the finest wine shops outside Boston and probably in the greater Boston area. I had the pleasure to travel to Portugal with Jack Kudo. That was a few years ago, and I have to say that Portugal is something very special. It's unique. There's a great passion for living, fantastic hospitality. The food and the wine is beyond perfect. And Portugal is something that always stays in the back of your head. Once you visit Portugal, you always think of Portugal. I can talk about it for a long time, but there's only one way to find out. So I'm going to stop here.
So,
Jack and I will have a glass of wine, and I'll let you make further decisions. But once again, Portugal is Portugal. Nothing comes close. We cannot compare Portugal to France or Spain. You have to experience Portugal.
and the United States is now the second largest importing country for the wines of Portugal, which is phenomenal. And it's not just ethnic wines. It used to be 20, 25 years ago. Now the raw market is accepting the wines quite well. The same thing happens with Spain and other countries. So I think that we're in a good position. And for those who are going to have the experience to go to Portugal, I look forward to meet them after that. I'm sure that they will become the true ambassadors of Portugal.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Jack.
My
And
pleasure.
thank you,
Thanks for having us.
Christian.
Pleasure, Christian. So,
If you'd like to sample these wines for yourself this September, there are still spots available on our trip. We hope to see you then.
cheers.